So let's see. Okay, we are perfect now. Okay, we have to just delete this half here. And we have to add a loop cut here. Now we can just delete this one. And the thing about that is, if we are perfect, I don't think that we are perfect, but if we are good, we can close that perfectly on the other side. So let's try it. I'm going to reactivate that. And we can just do, first of all, select all, and we have just to match our curve for now, our face. Okay, on this object, because it's too big, you see, if we do that, we have the problem that's not working. So we have just to do it in another way. So first of all, we calculate the normals, so they are in the right way. Perfect. And we can now just try to add on this detail here a modifier. It's called let's see, it's called shrink wrap. With this shrink wrap modifier, the target would be this object here, and as you can see, we are perfect now on the line. Alright, we can use that, but we can go a little bit more down, maybe that, because it's the last detail on this side here. Alright, so let's try if we now add another plane, another empty. It's empty 2, I don't really know how I'm going to call it. Empty detail 3 maybe. Alright. And we are going to add here to this shrink wrap an array modifier. And we're doing the same thing. Alright, we can't really close them in the way we want to, so I'm going to just select this area, and now I'm just doing it manually, maybe like that, and with this we have to be on the line here. So I think that's the best way to do that, and now we can just go up with the count. And yeah, we have here a massively problem. So I think we have to go down with the rotation or with the detail. But yeah, if we go down with the rotation, we fucked up everything here. So how we can do this? Maybe if we're going to delete that and this here. We are going now to rotate it. We can maybe close it. If we just extrude them in here and the rest down here. Not perfectly good, but we can close this area later on, so don't worry about that. Alright, so let's see. I think we are finished now with this part. Yeah, we are finished now with this part, perfect. I'm going to move that to the empty folder, and we finally can make now this part up here. So this part, I just made it some month ago, but that's really tricky, this part up here. So let's see if we can do it better now. Alright, so let's try. Let me think how we can just begin with. So maybe if we're going to add a circle, let's see if we can do that I'm going quite high, maybe with 144. So we have the same amount of vertices in here. Alright, we have one here, we have another one here. And for the rest we can just delete them. So I'm going to delete this half, this side and the half. And now we have these two in here. We can fill it, it's fine. And we can just insert it. Or maybe don't insert it for now. Let's see. I think I'm going a little bit more up. So it's our border. So let's see. All right. So I'm going to close the areas here so we can just add some loop cuts. So I'm going to add a loop cut down here. I'm going to add one up here. And now we can make this area in between. So I'm just trying to match for now these curves here. So this areas here. So I'm adding another one in here. Alright, in here we can just use this here. I'm going just to hide that for now. Good. Now we have this type of now we have these lines. Now we need only to make this here. That's the tricky part. So let's see how we can do that. Maybe with a circle again. I don't know. But we don't need that as high. I'm going just to rotate it. And I'm going to one detail. And I'm trying to match the actual size of that and form. So that's not really the one we need. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. So if we maybe keep that like that. Let's try now this shape here. So I'm going to duplicate them again, and maybe this time just adjust the size of that actual object again. Right. So we can now, let me think, we can now maybe add, no, we don't add a lookout. So I'm going to hide the face here for now. So we can add a lookout on these points here. So we can just connect them together. Good. I think we can just delete the faces here. So let's delete them for now. And we have to join them, these two now together. So just take the points and put it right on top of the vertices. So this one we can just delete. Good, I joined them now, and we can just close the face. So I'm going to close it here and here. And we have to close now the face in here. So it's very easy. Just select the whole thing here and fill the face. So I deleted these edges here, that's not good. I have to replace them. So just reselect these vertices here. Alright guys, now we need only to select all the things here. Obviously we need another line here. So I'm going to add them quickly. now we can try to select just the things we need to bevel. So it's that line, that line. So maybe if we just do it like that. So we can do that later on. Just select all the areas that has to be beveled. Alright, now you can try to bevel that. So maybe in the medium point. So we have to be cautious here on this point. So we are not going to be too much beveling here, but I think it's looking good. Go back into the face mode. And now we need only the faces that we are going to inset, that we are going to extrude back. So just deselect all the rest. Alright, it's looking good. So I'm going to unhide our main object and we are going to put them on the front. So same thing here, we have this problem with the rotation. So I'm going to make that as active. Yeah, we can't really rotate that, so put it on the front and we're going to unhide the main object. So we need to go to, first of all, a little bit back, so we are going to touch it thoroughly because we need to add on this object a shrink wrap, so we can just shrink it on top of this object like that. So do that before you're going to extrude the whole thing so we haven't any problem later on. Apply that. Now we can hide that for now. And now we can just, oh, sorry. I'm going to just undo that for now because we have to cut this line here. So I'm going into the edit mode. I'm going to use the K tool. I'm cutting all the way through and I'm looking to be on the line here. So that's the perfect line for that. And this side we can now delete. Same thing on that side. We can go on this line here and just cut. Alright, now we can just take our shrink wrap, put it on here, apply it, and we're good to go just to take all the edges we need, all the faces we need to extrude inside. And here we go. We have just to go a little bit more outside with that. So like that. And you have your detail up here. I think we have the wrong rotation. Yeah, we have just to recalculate the normal. And I think we are still, yeah, we are still in the wrong one, so just flip that. Perfect, so we can take this, we can add array modifier, and we can just take the empty from the outer ring, and we have only to go to 9 counts, and we are perfect in here. Alright, so we need only these dots here, and we are fairly done with the backside. So this particular detail here is a little bit different than the other one we have made earlier down here. So we have here some kind of circle going on. As you can see, we have some indent, we have some extrusion inwards that's blending into the object. So we can do that if the normal direction is completely the same as our object here. So you can check that. So we had to check that first on the other one, but you can check that if you go to this viewport shading tab, and you can just go to the normal shading, and in here you see the completely normal direction and things of your object, of your main object. And if you go here, you see we have on this side, so this is the main object, this is our details, and the details are quite the same color as our main object. In here for that we have a slightly change of the color, so maybe we have later on some difference in shading, but we really can't tell now if that's the problem, if that's causing our problem. So if we see then a border or something like that going on. So you can do that. As you can see here, this detail is perfectly flat, so it's going to be perfectly melt in our baking, and we can try now to make this the object here. So go back to my clay, and now we can just add this circle here. So with the circle we're going quite high, 64 is enough. We go into the edit mode, rotate it by 90 degrees, and we can just scale it down. So you can do two things. You can use that as our reference, or you can just go to another reference pick. But I'm going to use that as our reference, since we have since we have it in here in our scene. So I'm going to make that quite a little bit bigger. So that's our border. I'm going to fill that. And now we can just insert it right to this border here, insert it again. We're going to insert it again and insert it again. And now we have our rings we can just insert here. So just take them, the two, and extrude them inside. And as you can see here, we have some beveling, some real big beveling going on here. So I'm going to take them, and we can just bevel them with maybe 6 segments. So we have to just go into edit mode, go into object mode, shade it smooth, and auto smooth on. But as you can see, we can't really, we are always in here. So I think we are again, we are again in the wrong scene here, in the wrong collection. So going just to be in this collection, that's good. Alright, so just shade it smooth and auto smooth on, and you're fine. You have now the detail here. It's a tiny detail, so just drag it back into the place it has to be. So let's see, we have to be here, so that's fine. And we have to match now again our curve. Alright, so let's check if we are perfectly online with that, go back to the shading tab, and as you can see, our normals in here are very good. So I think they are the same color, so I don't think we can't really see this this ring here, but this area is perfect, and we can bake them then in our marmoset part. Alright, so let's just copy and paste it all over the ring. So let's see, I think we can just make maybe one side and then copy to the other. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so I'm going just to make one side. Make sure that the 3D cursor is in the middle, that's fine. And now we can just duplicate it, rotate it in the right place, and do that all over again. So here we have now a little bit of a problem, because you see we are going to be outside of that. So either we are going to scale them a little bit down, so just select them, go to individual origin, and with that you can just scale them a little bit down and go back to 3D cursor, and then you can scale it again, and you have now the place for that. Perfect. Alright, so we have our detail now going on here, and I think for that we are good. So these lines here, you can do that in Substance Painter if you want to, or you can do that now, that's up to you. But I'm going to make that in Substance Painter, that's better. So we have just to make some really large cuts here. That's good. That we can make that in Substance Painter. Alright, we have done our detailing on the back side so far, I think. So let's go back to the back side. So we have this here, we have this, we have this, we have this, yes. And we can now do, we have to just copy it all over the ring, the rest of that. So I think the only thing what's missing is this one here. Yeah, that's the only one missing. Alright, so I'm going to add here an array modifier, and we're going to add the object offset of the main ring, so outer ring. Let's see, I think we are... Okay, we can't really use the outer... Oh, we can't use... Sorry, I missed out that. Alright, so I just copied that all over the ring. Perfect. And I think we can now... Let's make the front first, before we are going to make this detail in here. So let's jump right to the front. On the front we have quite the same detail going on, so we have to add on this array modifier a mirror modifier. And with the mirror modifier on the y-axis we have to copy it on the other side, but as you can see here, we have a little bit of a problem with that, because it's inside and we don't really want it. We can just try another option, it's this mirror object, so just select that, but as you can see here it's doing nothing, so let's try something else. Maybe if we just go into the edit mode here, select the area here, and with that we are going just a little bit inside, so we are going to see our detail, and with that we can just go to the other and do quite the same thing, but let me try something else first. No, that's not. Also, as you can see here, we have now the problem that our shading here is a little bit too low, so I'm going to select this edge loop here, Command E, mark sharp,